Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Women's Advanced Bible Study Night, 15th of June, 2023. Okay, we're going to be continue on dealing with the book of Jubilees. And for do an introduction to Prophets of Awakening, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is called Prophets of Awakening, and check out our videos. A lot of information given through these videos, and they will connect dots for you and lead you into the truth. If you like what you are hearing and receiving through the videos, I'm asking you to like and share and subscribe to the channel. Okay, and if you would like to support the channel, you check out our Cash App at the bottom of the screen. Okay. For those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible, which is called the Law. It was given to Moses by the Lord of Hosts. Shalom and welcome to Prophets of Awakening, and welcome to our Women's Advanced Bible Study. Okay, we're going to do our moment of silence, prayer, and read the Psalms, some women's help. Then we'll go into some current events, they'll need to know information, and open up for some questions and comments. Then we'll pick up where we was at in the book of Jubilees. Okay. So this moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts and all that He's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Okay. Oh Lord, we come before Thee at this hour, thanking You and praising You for Your strength and Your great love and Your great power. And we appreciate Your love, oh Lord. We appreciate Your wisdom. We appreciate Your patience and understanding. Therefore, we come this day seeking Thy consistency of spirit, patience, and understanding. Peace be unto You. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna do a little song. Anybody want to read a song?
Yes, shalom everyone. Tonight I'll be doing reading of the psalm and also women's health. So I'm going to read Psalm 17, a plea for God's protection. This is a prayer of David. Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer, that goeth not out of fringed lips. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me, and shalt find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Verse 4. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips, I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me. O God, incline thy ear unto me, and hear my speech. 7. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand, them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies, who compass me about. 10. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Verse 15. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. That was Psalm 17, a plea for God's protection.
Okay. Any comments on that?
On verse 8, keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. I just take that as David is asking to Lord to always keep sight of him due to, the enemy's always preying upon him, just to never lose sight of him.
Okay. So we're going to go into women's health.
Yes, sir. Shalom, everyone. Please know that the information that I share is intended for general informational and educational purposes only and is not medical advice or recommended treatment. Tonight, I'm going to discuss nutrients that will optimize your eye health. Your eyesight is probably the most important of your five senses. Eye health goes hand in hand with general health, but a few nutrients are especially important for your eyes. These nutrients help maintain eye function, protect your eyes against harmful light, and reduce the development of age-related diseases. Your risk of developing an eye disease increases as you get older. The most common eye diseases include cataracts, which is a condition in which your eyes become clouded. Age-related cataracts are a leading cause of vision impairment and blindness. Dry eye disease. Glaucoma. Glaucoma is a group of diseases characterized by progressive degeneration of your optic nerve, which transfer visual information from eyes to brain. Glaucoma may cause poor eyesight or blindness. Your risk of developing these diseases depends on your age, genetics, chronic diseases, and lifestyle. Here are some nutrients that benefit your eyes. Vitamin A. Vitamin A deficiency is one of the most common causes of blindness. Vitamin A deficiency may lead to night blindness and dry eyes. Vitamin A is only found in animal-derived foods, but your body can convert certain plant-based foods into vitamin A. Omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, are important for eye health. Getting adequate amounts of the long-chain omega-3 fatty acids from oily fish or supplements that may reduce your risk of several eye diseases, especially dry eyes. Vitamin C. Your eyes require high amounts of antioxidants, more so than many other organs. Vitamin C is necessary for your eye health, and getting enough of this antioxidant may protect against cataracts. Vitamin E. Vitamin E deficiency may lead to visual degeneration and blindness. The best dietary sources of vitamin E include almonds, sunflower seeds, and flax seed oil. Zinc. Zinc plays an important role in eye function. Zinc deficiency may lead to night blindness. Natural dietary sources of zinc include meat, pumpkin seeds, and peanuts. The bottom line is healthy lifestyle habits such as a wholesome diet and regular exercise may help prevent many chronic diseases, including eye conditions. Getting enough of the nutrients mentioned may help reduce your risk. Other vitamins may also play a role in eye health. However, don't neglect the rest of your body. A diet that keeps your whole body healthy will likely keep your eyes healthy too. I'm going to read Isaiah 44, verses 18 through 23, a deceived heart. Verse 18, they have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. And none consider it in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it. And shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? Verse 20, he feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, is there not a lie in my right hand? 21, remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee. Thou art my servant, O Israel. Thou shalt not be forgotten of me. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions, and as a cloud thy sins. Return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. Verse 23, sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord hath done it. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth. Break forth into singing, ye mountains, O forest, and every tree therein. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob and glorified himself in Israel. That was nutrients that will optimize your eye health. And I read Isaiah chapter 44, verses 18 through 23.
Okay, appreciate that information. We're going to go into our current events. Okay, I don't know if anybody aware of this, but I'm going to check it out.
Welcome back, everyone. Pal Ponder on Weather here. We've got a very busy day ahead with some intense storms moving in with giant hail potential, destructive winds, and some tornadic activities. So let's really break down the details for you so you can be as safe as possible. Man, we've got a very active subtropical jet stream, complements of this very rapidly growing El Nino out there in the equatorial Pacific. That is just racing across the deep south. This is prime time setup, folks, for an active severe weather evening. And actually, we've got several more days to come with actually rounds of severe storms that you need to know what is coming, especially tonight. So let's take a look at the setup. Man, down there in Texas, it has just been stifling today. In fact, the dew points are right around 80. I think they did, in fact, reach 81, which broke the all-time record highest dew point down there in Texas. And all the dynamics are really coming together, folks, for a dangerous evening ahead across Oklahoma and a good part of North Texas, and that swings across in portions of the southeast. So let's take a look at the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. They did, in fact, enhance this and expand the moderate risk and shifted it a little bit further south. Not only does it include a good part of Oklahoma, including the Oklahoma City area, but it also now includes parts of North Texas, and the enhanced risk expands as well. So this is looking to be a significant evening in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and across much of Oklahoma. Let's really break down the details for you. And the one thing that's really devastating is just these destructive winds. There's definitely high-resolution models out there that have wind gusts upwards to 80, 90, if not possibly 100 miles an hour. So storms are going to be blowing up in the heat of the afternoon, essentially northwest and west, and then race across east southeastward. And they're going to be packing a punch. Numerous supercells, looks to be a widespread event and very destructive, dangerous wind event as well, and hail threat. We're talking giant hail, folks. This area has seen numerous areas of giant hail in the last couple of days with that baseball, even some softball, and there has been even some reports. There was one report in Mississippi last night that had a 5-inch hailstone. That's the possibility tonight, folks. I mean, this whole area is just prime time conditions. We're talking cloud tops upwards to 60,000 feet up in the atmosphere. We've got a lot of room to work with. And unfortunately, it is going to be rotating as well. So the tornado threat has actually increased as well. So we do have a strong tornado threat coming out of the Oklahoma area. But now that includes much of North Texas for an isolated sped-up tornado. So it's definitely not out of the question. We could be looking at a few tornadoes tonight within this region. And this, like I mentioned, this all kind of develops northwest and then starts to dive east southeastward into the evening time frame and swing all the way through much of the deep south here going into Florida. So it's a very busy night ahead. And look at the latest wind parameters. This is your latest kind of high resolution guidance, and some of these winds are going to be racing across. And it maxes out, folks, right around 103 mph. This is some dangerous stuff, as these winds could really start to bow out. And when they do, that's going to be the most significant winds when they start reaching those 80, 90, 100 mph criteria. So it's one of those things, if you live anywhere in the Oklahoma area and in North Texas, going into Arkansas, as much as portions of northern Louisiana, you've got to secure all your loose objects now, tie down the trampolines, tie down anything that you want to be flying debris, because right around 5 o'clock, the radar is going to start lighting up and then starting to develop as it overturns. There is a weakness in the Capit inversion up here in the northwest, so I do feel storms are going to be exploding within this region around 5, 6 o'clock this evening, and then maximizing and then elevating and shifting off into the east southeastward, forming several more supercell thunderstorms, and all of those will be capable of that dangerous giant hail and those destructive winds, and then isolated spin up a tornado or two.
Okay. Anybody familiar with that? That's all night today, all day today, and tomorrow. See the next couple of days.
Yes.
Deep south.
Yes. Yeah, I was watching that. I was watching that today. Some of my family in Arkansas got hit by it, and also in Georgia. So I kind of been keeping an eye on that. That's something.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and Oklahoma, Shalom, we have some family there. We've been keeping an eye on them too.
Okay. Got something else right here.
Welcome to Asian Quick Take. I'm Jacob. Get ready for an in-depth analysis of the latest news and developments in global affairs, international relations, and technology. In this video, we will delve into the latest news regarding the impact of U.S. hegemony on the global economy and the transfer of crisis through dollar hegemony. Currently, the global economy is grappling with significant challenges posed by U.S. hegemony, further exacerbated by the Federal Reserve's policy of raising interest rates, which reinforces the dominance of the U.S. dollar. This practice not only inflicts substantial harm on other economies, but also undermines the international economic and trade order, posing a severe threat to global economic stability. The Federal Reserve, in its recent monetary policy meeting held on June 13th to 14th, once again showcased the hegemonic control wielded by the U.S. dollar. The meeting deliberated on whether to continue raising interest rates, a tool employed by the U.S. to manipulate the global economy through monetary policy. Since March 2022, the Federal Reserve has implemented 10 interest rate hikes, resulting in the federal funds rate ascending from its initial low to a target range of 5% to 5.25%. This high interest rate policy has propelled the rise of the US dollar index, further cementing the dollar's hegemonic position within the international financial system. However, it is crucial to note that this hegemony was not attained organically, but rather established through the considerable power and control wielded by the US financial system. The ascent of the dollar index has inflicted significant damage on other countries' economies, with emerging market nations being particularly affected, enduring capital outflows and economic hardships. Consequently, countries worldwide have embarked on introspection and implemented measures to counter the effects of dollar hegemony. Some nations have initiated efforts to establish a diversified international monetary system, reducing their reliance on the US dollar. Simultaneously, others are actively promoting regional economic cooperation to diminish the need for dollar transactions, thereby weakening the dollar's hegemony. The dollar index, a gauge of the dollar's strength, has borne witness to numerous crises stemming from dollar hegemony. The Federal Reserve's tenacious interest rate hikes within a span of 14 months, accumulating 500 basis points since the Volcker moment in the early 1980s, have not only impacted the US economy itself, but also engendered instability in other countries. Regrettably, the US appears indifferent to the consequences, as they believe that by ensuring other economies are in a more disadvantageous position, they can grant the US economy a head start on recovery after a brief shock. Historically, the Volcker moment wreaked havoc on the global economy. In the early 1980s, the US aggressively raised interest rates to combat inflation, resulting in 2 recessions and sovereign debt crises in Latin American countries. The crisis inflicted immense economic damage on Latin American nations, characterized by surging unemployment, inflation, currency devaluation, and stagnant national income. This period is famously known as the lost decade of Latin America. How?
Okay.
Viking.
Any comments on that? And you know what a dollar hegemony is? You guys know what that is?
No, sir.
That's when the dollar being superior and they're using it to to bring sanctions and all that on other countries. That's the reason people trying to get out from under the dollar. That's the reason it's an attack on the dollar. America's able to stay afloat like it is because they're using the dollar to affect all the other currencies that's in the world. And the only reason they can do that is because the dollar was, they had made dollar the leading currency in the world with standard. And because of that, they can inflict sanctions on other people in these other countries tired of it. Okay, so I got some need to know information right here.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. First thing I want to say or ask, is anybody surprised? Is there anybody surprised? Nothing in this country surprises me anymore. But we're going to tell the story anyhow. So we all know the story of this woman on the left who decided to delete the woman on the right. My apologies to anyone who is offended by the word delete. I mean, the algorithms and censoring on YouTube is very real, okay? So we don't mean to be insensitive to the Black woman who is no longer with us, who lost her life at the hands of this creature on the left. So anyway, let's get into the story. Apparently she is being granted bond. And I'm sitting here trying to figure this out, but then very quickly I got the answer. We're in America. We are in America, but let's share the story anyhow. It says the Florida woman charged with deleting a mom of 4 last week after hurling her slurs at her children has been granted bond. Susan Louise Lorenz, whatever her name is, 58, was given a bond of $150,000 by Marion County Circuit Judge Robert Hodges. Is anyone surprised at all? I mean, this is the country we live in where these kinds of things have been happening for centuries. And either they do nothing at all or they are very light-handed with what they do. Back to the article, it says Lorenz is charged with manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, and 2 counts of assault and battery stemming from the deletion of her neighbor, okay, AJ Owens, age 25, who was taken out through the front door. I mean, she took aim at her through the front door and took her life. Now, if she posts bond, Lorenz is barred from contacting the Owens family, cannot possess firearms, and will need to surrender her passport and submit to ankle monitoring at all times. Owens' deletion or taking of her life was the tragic end to what investigators say was a 2-year fight between the 2 women over where the victim's 4 children played in the neighborhood. So they're all, look at this. Okay, so are you saying that Black children are not allowed to play because it bothers you that bad to where you can't just go sit your behind down somewhere in your chair, in your rocking chair, and just rock and watch television and let the children play? Now, of course, we've seen all kinds of ignorant comments already on the internet, where there are some who are literally trying to blame the mother and not the one who pulled the trigger. That's how this country is. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if she ends up getting someone raising some religious church Christian organization to raise $1 million for her defense fund. I wouldn't be surprised at all, because that's the kind of thing unrepentant people do, right? Mm-hmm. This is why people are laughing at the religious world, because you have people who claim to know and love the Most High and serve Him, but this is the kind of wicked thing that they do. They can't see right. They can't judge things properly, because color of someone's skin gets in the way of that. This is why the Most High has such a hammer as His judgment that is waiting for every unrepentant nation. Back to the article, it says Lorenz, who is white, allegedly gave Owen's young children the middle finger on the night of the shooting and told one of them, "Get away from my house, you black slave." That woman has a serious problem. When she stands before the Most High one day, those words are going to be just ringing throughout her devilish ears from now until eternity.
Okay. Any comments on that? Anybody familiar with that?
Shalom, yes, sir. Um, I don't know. It's kind of a weird story because she lied all in the beginning, saying that the property that they were playing on was hers, but
Okay.
then turn out it was not hers, and the owner of the property said that the children could play there, as long as they cleaned up behind themselves, didn't trash it or whatever. So this is not the first incident between her and the mom that led up to this, where she, the children left, one of her children left their tablet on the property, and they went back to get it, and she had it, and when they went to get it, she threw it at the child. So and also they say she threw a roller skate at one of them. So this is nothing new, and we should never be surprised to what happens, even though she admitted that she done all these things, and she feared for her life and so forth. It's just the hatred that they have for us. I don't think she feared for her life at all.
Okay. Yeah, we're seeing this becoming a normal, everyday normal thing. It's kind of escalated and started when during Trump came on the scene. This white supremacy attitude just, it just uh, escalated. Um, I'm not sure anybody familiar with the video that was out today on YouTube with the white lady uh, calling it, going around just saying nigger to everybody all over the place, and hitting people, rapping them with their purse until some black lady popped inside the head, and she fell out, got back up, started back calling people niggas again. You got that video, Michelle?
Yes, sir.
Can you post it after the class?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so people can see it. I mean, it's like she has some kind of demon in her, but that's becoming everyday appearance now, all over the United States. They're getting bold. It's almost it's as if when they get intoxicated, or or they in their neighborhood where it's predominantly most of them, they get bold. Okay, so with that being said, I was going to open it up for some questions and comments or some dialogue. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? From information they came across, thing we talked about last night or over the weekend. Any questions? Okay.
Yeah, I have some questions. Shalom. Well, I was thinking about the chords that you were talking about a couple of months ago, and any one of those chords were read, The red
Cords.
cords. Yes, sir. The cords. 'Cause I was reading about Rahab and about her having a red cord when she hid the um, two spies at her home or at the
Okay.
place she was at,
Right.
and we were talking about red-headed people, and about red, and I was just thinking about the red cord that Rahab had,
Yeah. I
and
was. I
it,
don't
and
think.
that was and it was on one of the spies that came, and he took the red cord and gave it to her. So I was trying to find out the significance in that red cord.
Well, I think they. I think that red card was just for them to between them to identify. It was a message, a signal to each one of them, but it's not the same as the red card in Genesis. Let me get it. I think, a matter of fact, I think they use that red card as a symbol for according to what it is, it identifies according to what the situation is. But let me get this. Okay. Yeah, we see in Genesis chapter 38 when the two boys was born. They was forget it. Yeah, in 30 Genesis 38 and 27. This is when the two twins was born by Tamar. It says, and it came to pass in the time of her travail that behold, twins were in her womb, and it came to pass when she travailed that one put out his hand, and the midwife took hold and bound upon him a scarlet thread, saying, "This came out first." And it came to pass as he drew back his hand that he behold his brother came out. And she said, "How hast thou broken forth? This breach is upon thee." Therefore his name was called Perez. And afterwards came out his brother that had scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zora. So, like I was saying, I think it's just in both instances, it's just used for to identify. Like one of the boys, one of them, the first one to come out had to be the firstborn, and so that they don't get it, they twins, and so that they don't get it mixed up. The first one that came out, they put a scarlet band on his hand to identify him. And I think the same thing was that same situation was being used with spies. It was for them and Rahab to identify uh, when she saw them again. Then they would know by the cord.
Yes, sir. Well, okay, thank you on that one. Um,
Right.
can we speak on Rahab? Her being that she had knew about the Lord when she was talking to the spies, so she can save herself. She said that if I'm not mistaken, that she knew how the the Lord had saved Moses and all the Israelites or the Hebrews, uh, parting the Red Sea, and you know, she
So
named
where's
those
that?
things.
Where's that at? What book? Exodus.
Um, it's in Joshua. Hold on one moment.
We can read it. We can read it right now. We ain't got it's all good. Okay. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Spies sent to Jericho.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I started reading it. Chapter 2, verse 1. Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Chesham 2 men, the spy secretly, saying, "Go, view the land, even Jericho." And they went and came to a harlot's house named Rahab and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, "Behold, there came in hither tonight the children of Israel to search out the country." And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, "Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house. For they be come to search out our country." And the woman took the two men and hid them, and said thus, "There came men unto me, but I was not whence they were." And it came to pass about the time of the shutting of this gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whether the men went, I will not pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them uh, with the stalks of flax, the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way of Jordan until the fords. As soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate, saying, before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof, and she said unto the men, "I know that the Lord hath given to you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea for you, and when ye came out of Egypt, and what we did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is the God of in heaven above and the earth beneath. Now therefore I pray unto you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have shown you kindness, that you will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that we will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren, my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death." And the men answered her, Our life, our life for yours. If ye utter not this uh this our business, and it shall be, when the Lord have given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, and for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, Get ye to the mountains, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourself there 3 days, till the pursuers be returned, and afterwards may you go on your way. And the men said unto her, We will be blameless of thine oath, which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by, and thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thine house into the streets, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utterest this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath which thou hast made unto us to swear. And he said, according to your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet line in the window, and they went and came unto the mountains, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the two men returned and descended from the mountains, and passed over and came to Joshua, son of Nun, and told him all the things that had befallen them. And they said unto Joshua, Truly the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land, or even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. So we see right here, she used this scarlet cord in this situation right here to propel those two guys down because she lived up on the wall of the building. So evidently that was a megalithic city, and she lived on the wall. Her house is built into the wall of the Jericho. So in order to get for those guys to get away, she let them down by a rope, you can say a scarlet rope. She let them down to get away from the men that was pursuing them. And so in return, they made an oath to her that when they come back to take the land, put that scarlet rope in the window, just like during the slave trade when the what they call that, the Underground Railroad. The people would have lamp in the window.
When they assisted the runaway slaves.
They were looking for that lamp in the window. They knew that house was part of the Underground Railroad. So that was the same thing. They told her the same scarlet cord that you used to repel us down the wall, hang it from your window. That way, when we come back to conquer Jericho, we're gonna let all your folks down by that same cord, and we're gonna let them escape before we go into the city. So he said that if they try to go out through the front of the house out into the streets, that nullifies their oath or their responsibility. As long as they come down the cord through the window and come down and be repelled down, they got their protection. But if they go out and try to go out by the other way through the front, they have no responsibility. So the cord was was a sign for them when they came back.
Yes, sir. They don't mention if she was what nationality was she?
Canaanite. She was a part of Jericho. It says right here. It says, let's go back. It says, verse 1, and Joshua, son of Nun, said, okay, and it was told the king of Jericho that night, and the woman took the two men. Yeah, in verse 8, starting in verse 8, says, and before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof, and she said unto the men, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that your terror, this Israel, the Israelites, terror is falling upon us. So she Canaanite. And that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water. So she's a Canaanite woman. She's living within the city of Jericho. She's a Canaanite woman. But she said that the Most High put a spirit on her where she helped the two spies. And she told them that, the state of the people was that they feared Israel because they had heard all the things that they had done previously to the other nations before they got to Jericho.
Okay, so she's a woman that the Lord of Hosts spared her life and her family's life. So,
Right, because she showed favor to the Israelites. She showed favor to those two spies, which in turn helped Israel to conquer Jericho. So,
is this
like I was saying, they made an oath with her. It was all because of the oath.
the time where they walked around the city and the walls fell down?
Right. That same wall. But that's what he told her. Before we go into the city and destroy it, we're gonna save you. But the only way we're gonna save you is that the same rope you let us down on and repelled us down, when we come back, repel your family down that same rope. But if anybody try to go out any other way, they're not responsible for them. But if you let them down repel them down on this rope, then the blood is on our hands if something happen to them. But if they go out any other way, the blood is on their own head. That was the oath.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else got something? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read out the book of Jubilees, and then we'll just read a couple chapters. Somebody have any questions about it or what's being read, we'll just go into it. Okay. Okay. Let's see where I stop there. Okay, I'm gonna start in verse 24, chapter 24. And it says, it happened after the death of Abraham that the Lord blessed Isaac his son, who arose from Hebron and went and dwelt in the well of visions in the first year of the third week of this Jubilee, 7 years. I read that yesterday. Okay, Jacob became elder. Yeah, I read that already. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna start at 25. It says, in the second year of this week, in this Jubilee, Rebekah called Jacob her son, and spoke to him, saying, my son, do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan, as Esau your brother, who took two wives of the daughters of Canaan, and they have made my soul bitter with all their unclean acts, for all their actions are fornication and lust. There is no righteousness in them, because their deeds are evil. So we'll go back again. Read that. It's 25 and 1. So to fast forward this and come to the day and the Gentiles. Now we among the Gentiles. So it says, in the second year of this week, in the angels talking, on the second week, in the second year of this week, in their Jubilee, Rebekah called Jacob her son and spoke to him, saying, my son, do not take a wife from the daughters of the Canaan, as Esau, your brother, who took two wives of the daughters of Canaan, and they have made my soul bitter with all their unclean acts, for all their actions are fornication and lust, and there is no righteousness in them, because their deeds are evil. So, like I say, fast forward there to today, to the Gentiles. You know, it's no different. Our forefathers among the Canaanites, and we amongst the Gentiles. But they tricked off the understanding on that. We thinking everything cool. We can intermingle with them and do all this. But it's no different right here. Our situation now than our forefathers back then. So verse 2. I love you greatly, my son, in my heart and my affection. Affection bless you every hour of the day and every night. Now, my son, listen to my voice and do all the will of your mother, and do not take a wife of the daughters of this land, but only from the house of my father, and of those related to my father. See that? Now, my son, listen to my voice and do the will of your mother. Do not take a wife of the daughters of this land, but only from the house of my father. See that? Her father. And of those related to my father. Okay, then verse 4. If you would take a wife of the house of my father, the Most High God will bless you. So it's an option. See that? If you take a wife of the house of my father, the Most High God will bless you. So if you don't, you ain't gonna be blessed. So, and your children shall be a righteous generation and a holy offspring. So if you don't, your children is not a righteous offspring. So go to Ezra. When Ezra came back, and the people of the land had married amongst the people of the land. The Israelites had married amongst, and he told them, separate yourselves from the wife and the children. So the New Testament got you and tricked us off on that. Okay, so it says, and you will take a wife for the house of my father. The Most High God will bless you. Your children shall be a righteous generation and a holy offspring. And then spoke Jacob to Rebekah, his mother, and said to her, look, mother, I am 9 weeks of years old, and I have neither been with nor have I touched any woman, nor have I engaged myself to any, nor have I even thought of taking me wife for the daughters of the Canaan. For I remember, mother, the words of Abraham, our father, for he commanded me not to take a wife of the daughters of Canaan, but to take my wife from the offspring of my father's house and from my kids' folks. I have heard before the daughters have been born to Laban, your brother, and I have set my heart on them to take a wife from among them. So he already knew about Rachel and Leah. It already had been told him before he even went there. He already knew about Rachel and Leah. So it says 7, for this reason I have guarded myself in my spirit against sinning or being corrupted in any way throughout all the days of my life. For with regard to lust and fornication, Abraham my father gave me many commands. And now it says, verse 8, despite all that he had commanded me, these 2 and 20 years, my brother has argued with me and spoken frequently with me and said, my brother, take a wife that is of the sisters of my 2 wives. But I refuse to do so. Do as he has done. Right? I swear before you, mother, that all the days of my life I would not take me a wife from the daughters of the offspring of Canaan, and I would not act wickedly as my brother has done. So that's wicked. That's wicked. Okay? 10. Do not be afraid, mother. Be assured that I shall do your will and walk upright and not corrupt my ways forever. When she heard this, she lifted up her face to heaven and extended her fingers of her hands and opened her mouth and blessed the Most High God, who had created the heavens and the earth. And she gave him thanks and praise. So let's look at that again. When she heard this, when she realized Jacob was a righteous seed, right? She lifted up her face to heaven, extended her fingers of her hands, and opened her mouth and blessed the Most High God, who had created the heavens and the earth. She gave him thanks and praise. Check this out. She said, blessed be the Lord God, and his holy name be blessed forever and ever. He has given me Jacob as a pure son and a holy offspring, for he is yours, and yours shall his offspring be continuously throughout all generations. Bless him, O Lord, and place my mouth the blessings of righteousness that I may bless him. Place in my mouth, right? So check this out. This is how you bless somebody. Bless him, O Lord, and place in my mouth the blessings of righteousness that I may bless him. So just how you bless him. At that hour, when the spirit of righteousness ascended into her mouth, she placed both her hands on the head of Jacob and said, blessed are you, Lord of righteousness and God of the ages, and may you bless him beyond all generations of men. Then, my son, may he give you the path of righteousness and reveal righteousness to your offspring. May he make your sons many during your life, and may they arise according to the number of the months of the years, and may their sons become many, and great beyond the stars of heaven, and may their numbers be more than the sands of the sea. So I told you yesterday when Jacob saw Jacob was at Bethel and he saw the ladder, right? He told you it was in the first month, first of the month, first in the first month of the first year of the week of the week, 7 years process. In the first month, on the full moon, the Lord of hosts showed up. So I'm gonna show you how that not only is they was keeping the signs by the sun and the moon, but these angels and the Lord of hosts and Yahweh dealing with these signs for sun and the moon too. So look what she says. So she prayed that he put it in her mouth. And then when the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, when it came on, she blessed him. So when the Most High wasn't on her, she couldn't bless him. So it says, and she said, let me get it. Okay, so it says, and she said, blessed be the Lord God of my holy name, and blessed be him forever, and has given me Jacob as a pure son, the holy offspring, for he is yours, and yours shall his offspring be continuously through all generations. Bless him, O Lord, and place in my mouth the blessings of righteousness, that I may bless him. So the Most High, like I was telling you with the prophets, this is what we done lost this, that when he says he lifted up his eyes, or he went into a trance, the angel entered into him. So it's not actually the man talking, it's the angel in him talking. And we see the same thing when Moses, the flame of fire. The fire is the angel of the Lord, but Yahweh, when Moses got close, Yahweh entered into the fire and talked through the fire to Moses. So these angels doing the same thing with the man. They enter into the man. So when you see Jeremiah in the court talking to the people, the Spirit of the Most High come on him. Then he convict the people. And we not understand how that goes. So when they see that strikes fear in them, because they know it ain't the man talking. He done went into a trance. And that's what Balaam did with Balaam. He went into a trance. And the angel started talking through him. And so right here, she says, and she said, verse 12 of 25, let me see, make sure. Yeah, 25, she says, blessed be the Lord God, and may his holy name be blessed forever and ever. He has given me Jacob as a pure son and a holy offspring, for he is yours, and yours shall his offspring be continuously through all generations. Bless him, O Lord, and place in my mouth, right, the blessings of righteousness, that I may bless him. So he came overshadowed me at that hour, while he was by the Spirit of the Lord was on her. When the Spirit of righteousness descended into her mouth, she placed both hands on the head of Jacob and said, blessed are you, Lord of righteousness and God of all ages, and may you bless him beyond all the generations of men. My son, may he give you the path of righteousness and reveal righteousness to your offspring. Now here you go, right here, what I was talking about the Jubilees. May he make your sons many, right? May you have a lot of sons during your life, and may they arise. Look at this. May they arise according to the number of months of the year, certain time of the year, that they rise, come forth and born. So that's when the Lord of hosts came to Abraham. Notice what he said. This time next year. So they're on a cycle. It's a process, a holy cycle they're working on. So it did, and made their sons become many and great beyond the stars of heaven, and made their number be more than the sands of the sea. We see the same thing when Abraham was born. It was a certain time of the year that star comes. 17 says, and May he give them this good and pleasing land, as he said he would give to Abraham and to his offspring after him always, and may they hold it as a possession forever. My son, may I see blessed children born to you during my life, and may all your offspring be blessed and holy. And as you have refreshed your mother's spirit during her life, the womb of her that gave birth to you blesses you now. My affection and my heart, my breast bless you, and my mouth and my tongue greatly praise you. So how you gonna go wrong? Isaac then blessed him. Now his mama then blessed him in the same way. You can't go wrong, right? So he said 20. Increase and spread over the earth, and may your offspring be perfect in the joy of heaven and earth forever. So remember, this is a blessing. It's a prophecy. It's a prophecy she putting out over to him through the Lord of hosts, and not only that, a blessing. And may your offspring rejoice. And on that great day of peace, may they have peace. And my son, and may your name and your offspring endure to all ages. And may the Most High God be their God, and may the God of righteousness dwell with them, and may his sanctuary be built by you all the ages. We see all this, understanding the scriptures. Everything she said right here came to pass. But we ain't know she had pronounced this over him through the Most High, right? Blessed be he that blesses you, and all flesh that curses you falsely, may they be cursed. And she kissed him and said to him, may the Lord of the world love you as the heart of your mother, and her affections rejoice in you and bless you. And she ceased from blessing. So see, she ceased. So the spirit came down on her. She pronounced these blessings, then the spirit left, and she ceased. Okay? Now watch this. I'm in chapter, any questions? That was Jubilees 25. Any comments, questions? Okay, so chapter 26. In the 7th year, notice what they give you these times. In the 7th year of this week, Isaac called Esau, his elder son, and said, Isaac called Esau, his elder son, and said to him, I am old, my son, and my sight is dim, and I do not know the day of my death. Now take your hunting weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out in the field and hunt and catch me venison, my son, and make me flavored meat like my soul loves, and bring it to me that I may eat, and that, but check it out, and that my soul may bless you before I die. The same thing we just saw Rebecca do, right? But Rebecca heard Isaac speaking to Esau. Esau went out early to the field to hunt and to catch and bring home meat for his father. Rebecca called Jacob, her son, and said to him, look, I heard Isaac, your father, speak to Esau, your brother, saying, hunt for me and make me flavorful meat and bring it to me that I may eat and bless you before the Lord. See that? That's what she just done. Before the Lord, before I die. Now, my son, do as you are told, and do as I command you. Go to your flock, fetch me 2 good kids of goats, and make them good, tasty meat for your father, like he loves, and you will bring it to your father that he may eat and bless you to the Lord before he died. Right. So all this was told to her by Abraham. The Lord came to Abraham and told him in a vision, and then Abraham told her. And she was waiting for this moment. So she says in verse 6, now my son, do as you are told. And so what she doing is what she was told by Abraham. So it says, now my son, do as you are told, and do as I command you. Go to your flock and fetch me 2 good kids of goats, and I will make them good tasty meat for your father, like he loves, and you will bring it to your father that he may eat and bless you to the Lord before he dies. Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, Mother, I shall not withhold anything which my father would eat and which would please him, but I am afraid that he will recognize my voice and wish to touch me. And and you know that I am smooth, and Esau my brother is hairy. And check it out now. Let's go back to what I was telling you about these they don't have the same daddy. So it says, just like Cain and Abel don't have the same daddy. It says, and you know that I am smooth, and Esau my brother is hairy, and I have and I he will see me as an evildoer, and I am doing something that he has not told me to do, and he will be very angry with me, and shall bring on myself a curse and not a blessing. Rebecca, his mother, said to him, "Your curse be on me and my son, or my son. Just do as as you are told." So Jacob obeyed the voice of Rebecca, his mother, and went and brought back 2 good and fat goat kids and brought them to his mother, and his mother made them tasty meat like he loved. Rebecca took the good and pleasing clothes. Look at it, check it out. Rebecca took the good and pleasing clothes of Esau, her elder son, right? So it's a load of information in this right here. It says Rebecca took the good and pleasing clothes of Esau, her elder son, which was with her in the house, and she clothed Jacob, or her younger son, with them. Now check it out. Remember what Jacob said? I'm smooth. I don't have no hair on me. I'm smooth skinned, and I don't have no hair on me. He said, go to the white man, right, and how he looked before he shaved. So it says, which was with her in the house, and she clothed Jacob, her younger son, with them. Now check it out what she do. She put the skins of the kids on his hands, forearms. That's how that white man is. He got hair all over him. He got hair all on his forearms, right? But check this out. She clothed Jacob, her younger son, with them, and she put the skins of the kids that she had just killed on his hand. Now watch this. And the exposed parts of his back. Come on. Look at that. I don't know where everybody else been, but I came up athlete around these white folks, and they hairy, and then they got hair on their back. They're like a gorilla. We don't have that. So look what she do. So this is telling you how Esau looked. She says, and she put the skins of the kids on his hands and on the exposed parts of his back, across the top of his back, hair, like an animal. Let that frenate. So, and she gave the meat and the bread which she had prepared to her son Jacob. And Jacob went into her father and said, I am your son. I have done as you asked me. Arise and sit and eat of which I have caught a father, and your soul may bless me. Isaac said unto his son, how have you found game so quickly, my son? Jacob said, because the Lord your God caused me to find it. Isaac said to him, come closer, that I may feel you. See, you looking for his hair. The hair says, come closer, that I may feel you, my son, and know if you are my son, Esau, or not. And Jacob went near to Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands, right? She got the hair on it, or the hands of Esau. And he did not recognize him because it was a decision from heaven to remove his power of perception. And Isaac discerned not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau. So Isaac blessed him. He said, are you my son Esau? And Jacob said, I am your son. And Isaac said, bring it to me that I may eat that which you have caught, my son, that my soul may bless you. And Jacob brought it to him, and he ate. And Jacob brought him wine, and he drank. Isaac, his father, said to him, come close and kiss me, my son. He came close and kissed Isaac, and he smelled the smell of his raiment. And he blessed Jacob and said, look, the smell of my son is as the smell of a full field, which the Lord hath blessed. May the Lord give you of the dew of heaven and of the dew of the earth, and plenty of corn and oil, and let nations serve you, and people bow down to you. 23, be ruler over your brethren, and let your mother's son bow down to you, and may all the blessings that the Lord has blessed me and blessed Abraham, my father, be imparted to you and to your offspring forever. Cursed be he that curses you, and blessed be he that blesses you. Now remember, uh, Rebecca already did this too. So he got double blessings on him. 24. It happened as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing his son Jacob, that Jacob had went away from Isaac his father and hid himself. Esau his brother came in from his hunting, and he also made flavorful meat and brought it to his father and Esau said to his father, "Let my father rise and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me." And Isaac his father said to him, "Who are you?" Esau said to him, "I am your firstborn." Right? That's a lie. We read yesterday where he gave the birthright up. And at that moment when he made that vow and that oath to Jacob, Jacob became the firstborn. So he not honoring that. He says, "Let my father rise and eat of my venison, that your soul may be blessed." And Isaac his father said to him, "Who are you?" And Isaac said to him, "I am your firstborn, your son Esau. I have done as you have commanded me." And Isaac was very greatly surprised and said, "Who is he that have hunted and caught and brought it to me, and have eaten of all before you came, and have blessed him, and he shall be blessed, and all his offspring forever." It happened when Esau heard the words of his father Isaac, that he cried with a very loud and bitter cry, and said to his father, "Bless me also, father." Isaac said unto him, "Your brethren came with trickery, and has taken away your blessing." So that's a lie. 30. He said, "Now I know why his name is Jacob, because he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing." And Isaac said, "Have ye not received a blessing from me, father?" And Isaac answered and said to Esau, "Look, I have made him your Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. I have strengthened him with plenty of corn and wine and oil. Now, what shall I do for you, my son?" Right? So check this out. Esau said to Isaac, his father, "Have you only one blessing, father? Please bless me also." Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac said unto him, "Check it out." Now remember what he told. So they got this worded another way in the King James, but check out what he said. Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac answered him and said, "Far from the dew of heaven." So the dew of heaven is going to be on Jacob. But he says, "Far from the dew of the earth shall your dwelling be, and far from the dew of heaven from above." So you ain't gonna be nowhere around it. It's almost like this curse, the Cain that's on curse. I mean, the curse that's on Cain. 34. By your sword. See that? So the dew of heaven and the dew on the earth, and you have no part of that. So by your sword will you live, and you will serve your brother. So let's look at that. Go to Genesis. So like I said, this is going over a lot of people's head. So anyway, go to Genesis, same story. In Genesis, in King James. So it says, look what they got in there. Let me get it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm in Genesis 27, verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, Jacob was yet scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his brother, and said unto his father, "Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me." And Isaac his father said unto him, "Who art thou?" And he said, "I am thy son, the firstborn, Esau." And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, "Who? Where is he that have taken venison and brought it to me, and have eaten of all before thou comest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessings. And he said, Is it not rightly named Jacob? Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times, took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling place shall be the fatness of the earth. See that? That's total opposite what it says in Jubilees. He says, far from the blessings was the fatness of the earth, is what it says in Jubilees. But he said right here, thy blessings shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven above, and thy sword. See? So they reworded it a different way, make it look like he had received the blessings, the dew of heaven. But in 27 it says far from the heaven. Let me see where it's at. Right, so in 33 of 26, let me get it. 26, Jubilee 26 and 33 says, Esau lifted up his voice and wept, and Isaac answered and said to him, Far from the dew of the earth shall be your dwelling, and far from the dew of heaven from above. By your sword will you live, and you will serve your brethren. So it's the same thing, pretty much the same curse that's on Cain. So you're going to be a vagabond in the earth, and by your sword you're going to live. So 35 says, and it shall happen that when you become great and do shake his yoke from off your neck, you will sin completely. You will sin completely and commit a sin worthy of death, and your offspring shall be rooted out from under heaven. Esau kept threatening Jacob because of the blessing his father blessed him, and he said unto in his heart, May the days of mourning of my father come now, so that I may kill my brother Jacob. Okay, so that's 26. Anybody got any comments on that? Okay, 27. Rebecca. Okay. Anybody any comments? Okay, chapter 27. Rebecca was told. Okay.
Oh, I wanted to comment. So his mother betrayed her husband by putting the skin over on Jacob, so he wouldn't feel the hair.
No, she didn't betray him.
No. Betrayed him by telling the other son to go do what Jacob was supposed to be doing.
No, Abraham had already informed her to do that. It's the trick with the thing. What you have to understand when you're looking at that, when you go into it and investigate it. Isaac was blind, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Abraham wasn't blind. He said Abraham was strong as an ox the day he died. His force and his strength and all that, and the same thing with Jacob. So why is he blind? He did something he done. And like I said, I think it's tied to when what happened to Rebecca, who Esau is. Like I said, Jacob and Esau ain't none of his dad, ain't none of Isaac's son. So it's something Esau done. So Abraham, when it tells you in let's look at it. It tells you in when the boy is born, Genesis. Okay. Let me get it. When they born, the birth of Jacob and Esau is in Genesis 25 and 19. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, and the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Panaram, sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife. See that? Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of the Lord. So we see when it says when you go inquire of the Lord, you have to go to the priest. After the temple was built, you had to go to the priest, or you had to go to the man of God. So when she went, she didn't go inquire of the Lord. She went to Abraham. And then when you read in the book of Jasher and those other books, you see she went to Abraham, and then everything she done when she went down with Jacob, Abraham told her to do that. We told because Jacob was we see that Jacob was the righteous seed. We saw how that worked. He said, "Don't take no wives or the people of the land. Don't take no husband or wife of the people of the land. Don't lie with them. You know, because that kid ain't gonna be no holy seed. But when you go to the wife or when you go to an Israelite man's house and get one of his daughters, that's a holy seed. So
Yes, sir.
So we see right there there's something going on with Isaac. So Abraham, the angel came and told told Abraham what to tell Rebekah, because Isaac was gonna pass the blessing on to Esau, because he loved Esau, but Esau wasn't the chosen seed. So Abraham told Rebekah what she had to do. That's what that was all about.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? So chapter 27 says Rebekah was told Esau's words in a dream, and Rebekah sent for Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, "Look, Esau, your brother will take vengeance on you and kill you. Now, therefore, my son, do as you are told, and get up and flee to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and stay with him in a few days until your brother's anger fades away and he is removed. He removes his anger from you and forget all that you have done. Then I will send for you to come from that place." But notice in verse 1, just like I just was telling you, they're all operating off these dreams and visions, but they didn't exclude all that out of the story in King James. So in verse 27 and 1, Rebekah was told Esau's words in a dream. See that? So Isaac told her in a dream that Jacob was going to Esau was going to try to kill him. So after it was told her what he going to try to do, she told him to go away. So Abraham did the same thing. Told her the dream he had was that Isaac is going to pass his blessing on to Esau. So this is what you have to do when the time comes. You're going to know the time because she heard what he told him. Go and go to the field and kill me a deer and make me some venison so I can give you this blessing. Pass it on to you. And that was her cue. So anyway, verse 3, 27 and 3 says, Jacob said, "I am not afraid. If he wishes to kill me, I will kill him." But she said to him, "Let me not be bereaved of both my sons on one day." Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "Look, you know that my father has become old and does not see." See that? He's blind. Something going on with him. And does not see because his eyes are dull. But Jacob wasn't like that. And Abraham wasn't like that. If I leave him, he would think it is wrong. If I leave him and go away from you, my father will be angry and will curse me. I will not go. And when he sends me, only then will I go. And Rebekah said to Jacob, I will go in and speak to him, and he shall send you away. And Rebekah went in and said to Isaac, I hate my life because of the two daughters of Heth, whom Esau has taken as wives. If Esau take a wife, if Jacob take a wife from among the daughters of the land, such as these, I cannot live with it, because the daughters of the Canaanite are evil. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and warned him and said to him, do not take you a wife of any of the daughters of the Canaan. Arise and go to Mesopotamia, to the house of Bethel, your mother's father, and take a wife from the place of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And God Almighty bless you and increase and multiply you, that you may become a company of nations, and give you the blessings of my father Abraham, to you and to your offspring after you, that you may inherit the land that you travel in, and all the land which God gave to Abraham. Go in peace, my son. Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Mesopotamia to Laban, the son of Bethel of Syria, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's mother. It happened after Jacob had departed to Mesopotamia that the spirit of Rebekah was grieved for her son, and she wept. Isaac said to Rebekah, my sister, weep not because of Jacob, my son, for he goes in peace, and in peace will he return. And the Most High God will preserve him from all evil and will be with him. He will not forsake him all his days, for I know that his ways will be made to prosper in all things wherever he goes, until he return in peace to us, and we see him in peace. Fear not on his account, my sister, for he is on the upright path, and he is perfect. He's a perfect man, and he is faithful and will not perish. Weep not. Isaac comforted Rebekah because of her son Jacob, and blessed him. Jacob went from the well of oak to go to Haran on the first year. Check it out. Remember when the Lord came to him, right? It was on the first year. See that? Jacob went from the well of oak to go to Haran on the first year of the second week, in the 44th Jubilee, and he came to Luz on the mountain, and that is Bethel. This is where the ladder at. See that? The ladder at Bethel on the new moon. See that? On the new moon of the first month of this week. And he came to the place at dusk and turned from the way of the west of the road that is closed. And that night he slept there when the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place as a pillow and laid down under the tree. And he was journeying along, and he slept. Jacob dreamt that night and saw a ladder set up on the earth, and top reached under heaven. And he saw the angels of the Lord ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood upon it. And he spoke to Jacob and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land you are sleeping on I will give to you and unto your offspring after you. Your offspring shall be as the dust of the earth, and you will increase to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. And in you and in your offspring shall all the families of the nations be blessed. Behold, I will be with you and will keep you wherever you go. I will bring you into this land again in peace. Ain't that the same thing Isaac just said? Because they talking to him. That's what everybody not getting. It ain't Yahweh. And I will not leave you until I do everything that I have told you. Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, truly, this place is the house of the Lord, and I did not know it. He was afraid and said, I am afraid because of this place is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven, and I do not know it. And Jacob got up early in the morning, took the stone that he had placed under his head, and set it up as a pillow for a sign. And he poured oil on the top of it, and he called the name of the place Bethel, but the name of the place was previously called Luz, right? And Jacob vowed a vow. See that? You go to vow. Jacob vowed a vow. Same thing the spies did. Jacob vowed a vow to the Lord, saying, if the Lord will be with me and will keep me in the way that I go and give me bread to eat and clothes to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone which I have set up as a pillar for a sign in this place shall be the Lord's house. And of all that you gave, and of all that you gave me, I shall give a tenth to you, my God. So notice that's where the temple was built at later on when Solomon came. Same place right here. He says, look at it. He says, and Jacob vowed a vow to the Lord, saying, if the Lord will be with me and will keep me in the way, the Lord will be with me and keep me in the way that I would go and give me bread to eat and clothes to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone, which I have set up as a pillar for a sign in this place, shall be the Lord's house. So later on, David came, Solomon and them built the house right here, where he put the stone in. And all that you gave me, I shall give a tenth to you for my God. That was 27. I'm going to read one more. Anybody got any question? Okay, 28. And he went on his journey and came to the land of the east, to Laban, the brother of Rebekah, and he was with him. And Jacob served Laban for Rachel, his daughter, for 1 week of years. In the first year, here we go again. In the first year of the third week of years, he said to him, give me my wife, for whom I have served you 7 years. And Laban said to Jacob, I will give you your wife. And Laban made a feast and took Leah, his eldest daughter, and gave her to Jacob as a wife, and gave Leah Zephnath for a handmaid. And Jacob did not know it, for he thought that she was Rachel. And he went in to her and saw she was Leah. And Jacob was angry with Laban and said to him, check this out. Why have you done this to me? Did I not serve you for Rachel and not for Leah? Why have you wronged me? Verse 5. Take your daughter and I will go. You have done evil to me. But Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah, because Leah's eyes were weak, but her form was very beautiful. Right? Rachel had beautiful eyes and a beautiful and very voluptuous form. Then here we go. Laban said to Jacob, check it out. Laban said to Jacob, it is not done that way in our country. We do not give the younger before the elder. See that? And it is not right to do this. It ain't right to do that. See that? For thus it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, that no one should give his younger daughter before the elder, but the younger one is given first. The elder one is given first, and then after her, the younger. The man who does so will have guilt placed against him in heaven, and none is righteous that does this thing, for this deed is evil before the Lord. See that? Command the children of Israel that they not do this thing. Let them neither take nor give their younger before they have given the elder, for it is very wicked. And Laban said unto Jacob, let the 7 days of the feast pass by, and I will give you Rachel, that you may serve me another 7 years, that you may pasture my sheep as you did in the former weeks of years. On the day when the 7 days of the feast of Leah had passed, Laban gave Rachel to Jacob, that he might serve him another 7 years. And he gave Rachel Bilhah, the sister of Zephyr, as a handmaid. And he served yet 7 years for Rachel. And Leah had been given to him for nothing, since it was Rachel he wanted. And the Lord, check it out. Here we go. The Lord opened the womb of Leah, and she conceived and gave birth to a son for Jacob. And he called his name Reuben. Now here you go, right here. On the 14th day of the 9th month, in the first year of the third week. That's when Reuben was born. See that? Now 12. But the womb of Rachel was closed, For the Lord said that Leah was hated of Rachel, and Rachel I loved. And again Jacob went in to Leah, and she conceived and gave birth to a second son, and he called his name Simeon. Check it out. I'm telling you when he was born. On the 21st of the 10th month, and in the 3rd year of this week. And again Jacob went into Leah, and she conceived and gave birth to a third son, and she called his name Levi. Now watch when Levi was born. In the new moon. Levi born on a new moon of the 1st month in the 6th year of this week. See that? 15. Again, Jacob went in to her, and she conceived and gave birth to a 4th son, and he called his name Judah on the 15th of the 3rd month in the 1st year of the 4th week. Because of all this, Rachel envied Leah, but she did not bear a child, and she said to Jacob, "Give me children." And Jacob said, Have I withheld from you the fruits of your womb? Have I left you? And when Rachel saw that Leah had given birth to 4 sons for Jacob, Reuben and Simeon, Levi and Judah, she said to him, "Go in unto Bilhah, my handmaiden, and she will conceive and bear a son for me." And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaiden, to wife. And he went in unto her, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and he called his name Dan. And on the ninth of the 6th month, in the 6th year of the 3rd week. And Jacob went in again unto Bilhah a second time, and she conceived and gave birth on another son for Jacob. And Rachel called his name Naphtali. On the 5th of the 7th month, in the 2nd year of the 4th week. And when Leah saw that she had become sterile and could no longer have children, she envied Rachel, and she also gave her handmaiden Zephlah to Jacob to wife, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and Leah called his name Gad on the 12th of the 8th month, in the 3rd year of the 4th week. He went in to her again, and she conceived and gave birth to a second son, and Leah called his name Asher on the 2nd of the 11th month, in the 5th year of the 4th week. And Jacob went into Leah, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and she called his name Issachar on the 4th of the 5th month, in the 4th year of the 4th week. And she gave him to a nurse. And Jacob went in again to her, and she conceived and gave birth to 2 children, a son and a daughter. And she called the name of the son Zebulun, and the name of the daughter Dinah. In the 7th day of the 7th month, in the 6th year of the 4th week. And the Lord was gracious to Rachel, and opened her womb, and she conceived and gave birth to a son. She called his name Joseph, right? On a new moon. See that? Joseph born on a new moon of the 4th month, in the 6th year. That's when the Most High comes, the Lord comes, Lord host comes. That's when he visits. So that's when Jacob was born. Joseph, in the 6th year, in the 4th week, right? In the days when Joseph was born, Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wives and my sons, and let us go to my father's Isaac, and let me make a household for myself. For I have completed the years in which I have served you for your 2 daughters, and I will go to the house of my father." And Laban said to Jacob, "Stay with me, and I will pay you wages, and pasture my flock for me again, and take your wages." They agreed with one another that he should give him as his wages those of the lambs and kids which were born spotted, black and white. These were to be his wages. All the sheep brought out spotted and speckled and black, variously marked. And they brought out again lambs like themselves. All that were spotted were Jacob's, and all those who were not spotted were Laban's. Jacob's possession multiplied greatly, and he possessed oxen and sheep, donkey and camels, men servants and maid servants. Laban and his sons envied Jacob, and Laban took back the sheep from him, and he envied him and watched him for an opportunity to do evil. So that was Jubilees chapter 28. So, like I was saying, remember the blessing that Rebecca placed over Jacob. She said that he have many sons, and that they born at the appointed time. So according to Most High. So the sun and the moon and all that are signs. And we see that happened. Judah was born on a new moon. And Joseph was born on a new moon. Levi, first on a new moon, on the first day of the month. All that's significant. Okay? So, anybody got any comments before we close out? So did y'all ever purchase the Book of Jubilees or not? Can you hear me?
Even in the Supragrapha and then by itself, along with, well, it's not by itself, it's along with Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilee.
Okay. Okay. So everybody good? Nobody have any comments or dialogue pertaining to what we just went over?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we're gonna close out. See everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock. To bring in the Shabbat. Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Okay.